Welcome to the Breaking the Silence podcast. I am your host, author Nikki Nicole. Here I believe in winning together and creating a safe, supportive space for people to share their stories and start their healing journey. My passion is to help people confront hidden battles, embrace their truths, and take steps towards a more fulfilling life. Every episode is designed to break the silence on topics that often go unspoken, leading to conversations that uplift, inspire, and transform. Join me as we break the barriers and find strength through shared experiences, one story at a time. Hey everyone, welcome to another powerful episode of Breaking the Silence. I am your host, Arthur Nikki Nicole, and this is the platform where the light shines on incredible people who are doing great things and making a difference in the world. Together, we will uncover untold stories, break barriers, and challenge the norms to inspire change. So let's get ready to be inspired, learn, and join this movement as we break the silence on issues that matter the most and bring awareness to great people in the world. So let's get to it. This episode for today. Today's guest is Miss Storm. Man, I'm always lurking on Facebook and different platforms trying to find new people to put in the light. And I reached out to her and she was like, sure, I'll be on your platform. I was like, really? So yes, she is a platinum award-winning songwriter, singer, hip-hop soul artist, and entrepreneur. That's all I'm going to give you though. So after her countdown, please welcome this amazing artist to the Breaking the Silence platform.
Rise up now. Are you in when they turn around, flashlights on us and spring it out? When the second car pull up behind us and they wrestle us down to the ground. When they pull out, they guns on us cause we asking them, what's this about? When the mic's on and the camera's rolling, everybody watching and standing around. Are you down to give a testimony when they take you down and put you under oath? Put your right hand down on the Bible and swear to God on the microphone. Are you riding with us down to the jail? So close to hell, we lose a hope. Are you in for this melanin to the very end? I need to know. Are you in when they cuff us up, put us in the back of that squad? Might see a cell or die by ourselves. Suicides are lies that they tell on us. Kick in our dough, lay us on the floor, lay it off and blow. And
How you doing?
Hey,
Thank you so much
I
for
was over
being
here
here.
grooving, girl.
I saw you. So tell everybody a little bit about yourself, a little bit more than what I've told them.
Okay, yes. Well, I am an award-winning songwriter, originally from Northern Ohio. I'm currently in Atlanta, Georgia, and I have a production company here in Atlanta, Georgia called the Ear Candy Productions, LLC, and I also have a few nonprofit organizations here in Atlanta, Georgia as well, one being the Moving Mountain Foundation of Motivational Speakers, where we help youth in urban areas who want to get into the music industry. We show them the business and the ropes, and so that they don't get, pinched the wrong way getting in.
Nice. You held a little bit back from me. I didn't know all of that. That's awesome.
Yes, girl. Yes.
Wow. So let's talk about your journey as an artist. What was that most defining moment in your music career where you said, you know what, this is what I want to do and take it seriously?
Oh my gosh, that is such a good question. And to be honest with you, according to my mother, I've been a singer my whole life. Let her tell it. I was walking around singing and, lip singing and copying Michael Jackson and Madonna since I was in Pampers. But as far as I can recall, I would say when I was in high school, I'll say maybe even middle school, 8th grade, it was talent shows. And I was actually in band. I played the trumpet in band from elementary school up until high school. And then in high school, I decided that I wanted to really take singing seriously. So I formed a group in my high school, and we did a talent show, and we did Escape. It was four of us, and we did Escape in a talent show. And I can't remember if we won or not, but I know everybody, we got a standing ovation. People was like, oh my God, they can really sing. And that was when I was like, okay, I'm gonna take this serious. And then literally right out of high school, I got a chance to tour with Kirk Franklin and the family. There was an audition that took place. I tried out, got selected, sung my little heart out, and I've been singing ever since. Ever since. Yeah.
Wow. Listen, I was on the band too. I played the trumpet too, but ask me to blow it
What?
now,
It
child.
hurted my lips. My lips used to be so swole all the time.
Okay, because you had to perk the lips up like
Yeah, you had to poof them lips up, honey. They
girl, I
take a
can't
toll on
blow it
them
now.
lips. Right.
Don't ask me. So
Yeah.
in your experience, what is the most valuable lesson you've learned about, creativity and entrepreneurship in the music industry?
Oh, that's a multifaceted question there. Okay. So the most important thing I've taken from being a creative is be yourself. We have two parts of our brain. We have our business mind and we have our creative side. When you're tapped into your creative side, be inspired by everything. That's what I do. I'm inspired by everything, and I do mean everything. When I leave out the house and the weather, it inspires me. My neighbor's house inspires me. I mean, there's literally nothing that doesn't inspire me, whether it's good or bad. Everything in life should inspire us. So on a creative aspect, the best thing that I can tell you is don't think something is stupid. Don't think nothing is minute, because there is someone somewhere who needs what you have, you know. And on the business side, gosh, I would like to say I'm a businesswoman first. I'm an artist second, that's for sure. And that's not by choice. It's because this is the music business, and the creativity is only going to get you so far.
Right.
So as an entrepreneur in the entertainment field, my biggest takeaway, honestly, would be to let you know off the gate, if you don't have a team, you're not in the game. You
Mm.
have to have a team, regardless of how intelligent you are, regardless of how smart you are, regardless of how talented you are. You can't do everything yourself. So being a leader, being an entrepreneur, and realizing that you are your business as an artist, you have to have people that you trust and that you can delegate tasks to, that can do what they say they can do. So it
Absolutely.
takes a team. Teamwork makes the dream work. That is a real fact.
A real fact. A real
Yeah.
fact.
Yeah.
So it's funny that you said, you have to be yourself. Now, in the music industry, there's these trends. You have to jump on these trends to become viral, which is viral is never a good thing. So how do you stay authentic in this music industry?
Just what you said, staying authentic. I don't really tap into a lot of the trends. Um, I tap into what I feel. I won't say I'm a trend setter or a trend follower. What I will say is my creativity shifts and evolves according to life, my personal experiences in life, my levels in life. Where I start hopefully isn't where I end, because I believe that we're all supposed to evolve and shed like most animals do. We're supposed to shed the old and evolve. Every year I strive to be bigger, better, know more, try new things, and I think that's a great thing to do as a human, and as a creative especially, is to evolve. So yeah, definitely just I go with what I feel. I can't say that I listen to mainstream music a lot to even know what is trending. I don't. I tap into Storm. I tap into Storm, and I let the downloads come as they will. And that's how I create.
I agree. Listen, I'm stuck in the 90s. I'll say that
Me
forevermore.
and you both, that was a hell of an era.
Okay.
We
I'm
need that
stuck.
era. That's a healing era. 90s was a healing era. It was good. It was when men were talking about loving on black women or women in general, and women were talking about loving on men. It's like now it's like, they don't want love. Who don't want love? Who?
What we doing? What
I
did we
do.
fall in love to?
Right. Like it's, 90s was definitely one of my favorite eras, because it was real. It was real love. We were tapping into being, not trying to impress the same sex,
Right.
more or less trying to impress the opposite sex. which I think is how it's supposed to go most of the time. So yeah, it was just an authentic era of love, and I
It
miss
really
90s. I'm
was.
definitely a 90s girl myself.
All day, every day. I'm telling you, that's the best time.
Yeah,
Anything from
yeah.
90s, I can deal with some of the 80s music too now. I can
Oh
go
yeah.
far in, like
Especially
even
the
my
hip
mom.
hop, because it was much more authentic. It was real storytelling. It was a skill. It was definitely a skill. Yeah.
Yes. So now I ask every artist that come across the platform. I know this is probably going to be like a loaded question, but I get different answers, so I just kept running it. So as a songwriter and an artist, what is the most important element of writing a song and making a song? The lyrics or the beat?
Oh,
Now,
definitely. Oh, I want to say the lyrics so bad, but I'm biased because I'm a songwriter. So I'm
mhm.
always going to feel like what I bring to the table is the most important part. However, it's not. It's a balance. It's like a marriage. It's like peanut butter and jelly. You can have a peanut butter sandwich, but without the jelly, it's just a peanut butter sandwich.
That's
It's a
true.
marriage. So I would say they're both equally important. However, I think that it's just has to be that mesh. You can't really take a producer writes themselves in their mind with their emotions. So whatever they're feeling at the time, where they're at the board or wherever they're a musician or whatever, their story is coming out in the production. The
Yeah.
songwriter's job is to listen to that story and bring it out, bring the life to it. So it's definitely a collaboration. It's a mutual respect for both parties. Yeah, definitely.
I always tell everybody, when I listen to a song, I'm really listening to a song. So if I hear the beat, now if I'm listening to this beat and maybe like the 5 to 10 second mark, the beat is trash. I'm gonna probably skip that song.
Skip it. Yeah,
Now,
that's true. But music is like, I don't even believe in music ever being trash, because music is it's perception. It's your perception of it.
yeah,
It's like art. Some people think this art is beautiful. Other people like, okay, it's just splat on a paint on a canvas. It's your
true.
perspective. It's just like it's no such thing as bad art. It's
Like
preference.
that.
I might not like the track. I might not like the song. There's plenty of them that I don't. Some of them
I feel
even
like
I wrote. I don't. But I understood the assignment and followed suit.
now that's now you just open up a new perspective for me because
Yeah.
okay, I won't say trash. I'll say, you know what?
Yeah.
Everybody has a different perception of something. You're right.
This is
I
so
agree.
true. It's true.
I,
It's
I
true.
agree. I agree. So, looking back over your career, is there a particular song or project that you feel was like a game changer for you, and what made it so significant?
I'm gonna have to say that the album that I'm working on right now, that I haven't released fully, but I released a single from it, and you actually played it earlier in the show, which is my RUN record.
Oh,
That's my hip hop record, where I wrote that back in 2020 when everything was going on with the police brutality and all of that. And at that time, I was working on a neo soul project that was so, oh my God, I was so excited about the project I was working on. It was something that I've never done. I had live musicians on the album. I had all these great ideas, and I got stopped right in the middle of making this neo soul artist and shifted into this hip hop project, which is called Black Dreams, in which I released the RUN record, because of everything that was going on in the world. That every time I got up, every time I looked on the news, every time I turned on my phone, every time I was on a computer, every conversation was, did you see what happened to George Floyd? Did you hear about what happened to Breonna Taylor? Did you hear this? Did you see that? And it shifted my whole creative process that I was thoroughly engaged in to what is now Black Dreams. And to answer your question, that is probably my most prolific project, because it is definitely raw, it's uncut. It wasn't a lot of thinking behind it. It was more feeling. I'm sort of a perfectionist when it comes to my creativity as an artist for myself, because I put in so much time into writing for others and working on other people's projects. So when it comes to mine, I'm like, okay, I'm not going to
mhm.
play myself dirty. I'm gonna take out the time, really make this story, go together. But with my Black Dreams project, it literally was just a conversation from me to my people. Like, we got to do something. Like, we can't. I don't want to wake up one day and see one of my boys dead
Right,
because we standing around recording people get murdered. Like,
right.
it just touched me in a place like I've never been touched before. And
Mhm.
it pulled out a lot of music that I never knew I had inside of me, a lot of creativity that I didn't even know I possessed. And it was just like download after download, like, okay, I have to get this out. This is what I'm supposed to do, So
Wow.
that one.
Amazing. Wow, I can't wait. I can't wait.
Yes,
So,
yes.
what as an artist and a songwriter, back in the day, I done been through so many eras. I feel like I'm old. I
I
done been
know.
through
Tell
the
me about
cassette
it.
tape, cassette tape moment, the
Okay.
CDs, all of
Okay.
that. So you going through all of these different areas of creating. What does your creative process look like now as an artist? Because back then you had to stay in the studio for hours on hand until
Yeah,
you
I
got
try
that,
not to do
perfect.
that, but I have a studio at the house though. So I guess I still do that. It's just not being at someone else's studio all the time because studio time is expensive for one. And two, I'm like a private person. I like to hear myself think. I like to play it over in my mind before I go to the microphone with it. Because again, like I said, I'm sort of a perfectionist. So it's like, okay, I'm like an in-pocket person. It gotta, rhyme on time. I'm a,
Mhm.
it has to flow how I want it to flow. So my creative process, for the most part, I'm gonna be so honest with you. I go to my car.
Okay.
I
Okay.
go in my car. I take my notebook in my car. If I'm writing to a beat that's already made and I got the beat, I play it in my car and I put my feet up on the dash and I just vibe. I listen to what the beat is saying, whatever the beat is telling me. And if I feel I got a story that's going to complement this beat and our stories is going to go together, and I bring it to life. I bring it to life. Yeah.
Okay, now
I'm a
you find
car
out
writer
you got natural talent in the car chilling
in the
writing.
car.
I love it. I love it. So
Yeah.
now, with you being a platinum award winning artist, what do you think is a myth about that title in itself, and what do you wish that people understood more?
Myth about being a platinum award winning artist or songwriter. Um, it's a lot of myths, but I probably would say most non-creatives who don't write, who don't perform, who don't sing or do anything in the field, right? They listen to us and they have no idea who's behind the record. They don't have an idea it was 10 people on this one song who can contribute to this record. It was, 4 hours of writing and recomping the song. They don't understand the process. So back in the day, when we had cassettes and CDs, you would get the credits and you could see
Yes.
everybody who contributed to it. And oh my God, if you really looked at some of the music today, you'd be like, okay, she did just that, and she did just that, and how many? It's 12 writers on this 3-minute song.
Right.
So I
Right.
would say that is probably the biggest myth is that most mainstream artists do not write their music. That's a big myth.
Mm.
Most mainstream artists don't have the time to write their
Mm.
own music. If they're touring and doing this and that, most of them don't have the time. And it's just always good to have another person's thoughts, another person come in and kind of like contribute. Like I said again, teamwork makes the dream work. I have writers for myself as well too, and yeah, it's just it's that's probably the biggest myth is that it's a team, it's a collaborative effort on almost every song you hear, whether it's
Right.
multiple producers, multiple engineers, multiple writers. So I would say that's the biggest myth.
So for the artists that are out there that's trying to get in your shoes as a platinum
Mhm.
award artist, songwriter, what does it take to get there? And how did it feel when you actually got there?
Man, it felt so surreal when I got there because the song that I wrote that went platinum, I literally put the least effort in than I've done any other song in my career. And I was just like, wow, this is crazy how what you think is hot sometimes ain't the one.
Mhm.
It ain't the bomb that you want it to be, but the ones you're like, I was gonna throw that song in the trash. I literally was
Right.
gonna ball it up like this ain't good enough. But I said, all right, I'm gonna submit it and see what happened. And boom, I was like, wow. So I would tell every creative that wants to be in platinum award winning or any type of award winning position as a songwriter is get in the rooms, meet the movers and shakers, meet you, introduce yourself. That's what happened to me. But then again, I got my award in the early 2000s. So a lot of the rooms that I had access to, a lot of them rooms don't even, a lot of those rooms and executives don't exist anymore. Unfortunately, we've lost a lot of great icons, a lot of great legends that was contributing to, that was on the search in A&R and finding talent like myself. Those days are kind of like, not the same. So my advice here and now today would be, you have the internet at your fingertips. Don't be afraid to DM someone, say, hey, I'm a songwriter. And don't just say, hey, I'm a songwriter. Create something that you can hear this artist doing. If you got a song that you feel like you could hear Monica doing, or you could hear Tamar Braxton doing, create the song, send it to them. Send it to them, copyright it, of course, and send it to them. You know what I'm saying? And see what, I mean, you got to shoot your shot. And it's no, I've shot in a lot of shots before I got to that one. A lot of shots. And you got to be fearless. You got to be fearless. You got to be ambitious, and you got to shoot your shot. It's just as simple as that. And you never know. Like I said, the song that I wrote that went platinum, it's not one of my. I would definitely. Me personally, it's not my best body of work. It's not my best body of work, but the fans thought
Thought so.
otherwise. So,
Mhm.
shoot your shot. Shoot your shot.
Shoot your
Yeah.
shot. I heard that. So how do you choose which personal stories to share in your music, and how do you protect the emotional well-being when doing
Ooh, girl, you got some good questions. Now, hold on. You said they two-part. I'm loving these two-part questions, okay? You said, how do I decide which stories to
it?
tell, to share with my audience? Okay, that's a good question. I've never had any, out of all the interviews I've been on, I've never had no one ask me that question. I'm so excited. Um, Honestly, again, I'm a person that goes off of energy and emotion. I don't necessarily ever say, oh, I'm not going to share this, because as a Black woman, all of our stories are very similar.
Yeah.
There's really nothing you can tell me, sister, that's going to shock me from childhood to now. The trauma you've been through, the pain, the deceit, the lies, all of us have the same story. We all have the same wounds, and we
Mhm.
all, it's a sisterhood. So I don't necessarily have any songs that I say, oh, I'm not going to share that. But what I will say is I'm very tactful about how freaky I get, though. I'm a Taurus. I don't know if that resonates with you, but
My
we are
sister's a Taurus.
labeled. Yeah, we're labeled as a lot of things, and one of the things that Tauruses are labeled as are freaks. Highly sexually inclined people, and I can't deny that. But when it comes to me expressing that on wax, I'm very timid. Like, I listen to songs
Mm.
like, WAP and stuff like that. Storm could never get on the microphone and be like, yeah, I got this wet, woo woo. But I might say something along the lines that's a little more what I would consider as tasteful. I like to be
Right.
considered classy. I do like to have sex appeal, but I'm very tactful on how I come about that. But then when it comes to my hip hop, I'm very direct. I'm very raw. I'm very in your face with it. Not the sexual part, but with everything
Mhm.
else. I'm still not the sexual girl. But yeah, I think that's the only thing that I hold back on a lot. And I've had producers and executives even mention that to me, like, why you holding back? I'm like, because I don't want to say that. Like, I don't want them looking at me like that. Like,
Right, right. That's a whole
somebody
different
looking
ball
at me
game.
like that. I just don't. It's just I do have limits on that, because I'm not trying to be hypersexualized or over sexualized. I don't feel like that's all I have to offer. So I'm definitely not
Right.
pushing that. That's not my narrative. And I do understand sex sales and all of that, but I think there's a lot of different ways to be sexy without showing my cleavage all the time and showing my booty and practically it's just some things that I want whoever I decide to marry to be like, okay, nobody else seen this but me. I
Me.
didn't put that out there for everybody,
Exactly. I get it. I get it. But that's what's selling. That's what they say
Yeah,
selling,
it
the
is.
sex
It
and the
is.
violence.
It is.
So with the
Yeah.
new streaming now we're streaming music, as artists. You're streaming. You're not out there on the, buying a CD. Selling CDs
Right.
on the corner, or buying it from the corner
And I've
store, or
been there
anything
and
like
done
that.
that.
Right. I love
Right.
that era though.
Me
So
too.
with
I
that
do.
with that being the thing now, streaming, what besides that, what is the biggest challenge for you as a artist, especially when it comes down to that artistic freedom and the
Yeah.
demands of running that successful business as well? What has been your biggest challenge?
To be all the way honest and transparent, um, monetizing, um, on both sides of it, investing and monetizing. In order to monetize, you have to invest. And I didn't necessarily start off in that era. So it's kind of like uncomfortable to where I know, regardless of how amazing this song is, it's never going to cut through the noise of all these other artists unless I drop a big bag to do so. And
Right.
then once I drop this big bag, the payout from how they have the streaming services set up, how they're paying us literally for our intellectual property, is very frustrating because you make this music, of course, because we want the world to hear it. We're making it for the world to hear it and enjoy it. And sometimes we can't get or reach as many people as we want if our finances don't allow it. Or if you just decide, like me, that I'm not going to drop $100,000 to push this record. I'm going to reach out to, I'm going to keep doing it organically like I've been doing it for the last 20 years in hopes that, I reach my audience, which is what I've been
Mhm.
doing. But it's almost impossible to really cut through and do what I'm accustomed to doing years ago now because of the streaming platforms and how they pay out.
Right.
So that's probably the most um, difficult part of the business and being a creative is, just leveraging out your return on your investment, just leveraging out your return on your investment. Because there's a lot of ways to make money in this thing, but either way you do it, besides sync licensing, which is what I also do, you have to invest. You have to spend money on promoting it, getting it playlisted, get it on the radio. I mean, it all costs and it's not cheap. It's not
Right.
cheap at all. So
Right.
that's the biggest dislike I have, is that we invest so much, not just creatively and artistically, but financially, just to get pennies on the back end. And a lot of artists, if we're not touring full time or, have some type of alignment with a big brand where we're doing endorsements or something like that, you making art just because of the love of art, which is,
That's it.
why we should be making art anyway, for the
Exactly.
passion of it.
Exactly.
Yeah. So,
Exactly. So
yeah.
with all that being said, with everything that's shifted, since back then to now, how do you see the future of hip hop soul evolving, and what do you hope to play in shaping the future of it?
Oh, that's a good question. Um, Honestly, this is a forever change in business. I've been doing music since the early 90s. So I've seen so many different eras. As you started off with the tapes from the ADATs to the vinyl, everything. I think that everything comes back around.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
what it looks like to me, from fashion, from sounds. Like if you listen to the top 100 songs right now, out of 100 of them, 40 or 50 of them are just remakes of what we
Remakes.
already heard our
Mm-hmm.
parents were playing years ago. So I think that it's going to all come back to how it started. I think it's going to come back to CDs getting pressed up. I think it's going to come
Yes.
back to more physical sales, more than digital sales, and I think it's going to come back to kind of like doing everything independently, where it's just direct to consumer, and
Yeah.
cutting out the third parties, because we're not benefiting from them like we should be. So I think it's going to go back to how it used to be in a lot of ways. I think it's circling right back around. And what I would like to do is I would like to inspire the younger generation that's coming up under me to be more careful of what they decide to talk about, and more mindful, and realize that I want them to be more free and feel less caged, and feel less manipulated to do what everyone else is doing. Because as a creative, And I've been a creative my entire life. And the most amazing part to me about being a creative is knowing that these thoughts, these feelings, these ideas, these melodies, these lyrics don't always come solely from me. They come from a place that is it's a universal language that is gifted to us. We can't misuse that gift. And I
Right.
think that music has the power to heal, to wake people up, to spark change, to spark good and bad change. And I just want to be a part of the spark for younger women, especially in hip hop and hip hop R&B, hip hop soul, to be more conscious of what they say out their mouth and realize the impact that we have on everyone, and including
So
ourselves. A lot of hip hop artists have died and have
yes.
spoke it out their mouth, not knowing they're cursing themselves. And I mean,
Themselves.
I hate to say it, but I think we all see it. It's not,
Yeah.
we all can see it. And I think that we have to be a lot more mindful and realize the power that's in these gifts and not take them lightly. And I talk about that in almost every interview. I talk about it in my music. And I hope that if nothing else, that'll be a part of my legacy. That Storm, spark the change to where young women are now just not talking about, they're not over sexualizing themselves. They're not following the trends. They're bringing their own gift that they have and walking in the purpose that they have, because it's an individual thing.
Mhm.
It's an individual thing. Yeah.
I agree. I agree that, like you said, it's always a remake out there.
Oh
Music is
yeah.
everything's gonna come back eventually. It's somebody, on a trend of fashion. Like we was doing that in the 90s. What you
In
mean?
the 50s, okay? They done brought it right back.
We're doing that. Oh, y'all ain't telling us nothing. My my
They
my
ain't
daughter
telling
said
it, but
it
you
all
can't
the time.
tell them though. They think they doing something new. I'm like, we already did that.
We already did that. Exactly. What you talking about? I was talking about what you talking about? Yeah, we did this way back when. You
Right, y'all
just
just
did that?
now getting hip. Y'all just now getting hip.
Man.
But that's life though, because our parents said the same thing. I'm sure my grandma said the same thing to my mama. It all comes back around. It's a big
Comes back
circle.
around. A big
Yeah.
circle. Man, this has been a great conversation. I'm down to my last question. It's kind of out of the box, but it's still
Okay.
related. So
I'm loving these
if
questions, girl. Let it go.
if your music could be the soundtrack to one moment in history, what moment
Ooh,
would you choose and why?
that's a good one. Oh, that's a good question, girl. Let me think now. Honestly, right now, my
Yeah.
my music is a soundtrack to what's going on right now. From depression to anxiety to the police brutality to the race wars to the civil unrest, to us trying to impact our youth and save our youth. All of that, everything that I talk about is going on. This is the soundtrack for right now,
I-
2025.
yes, I agree. I
This is
agree
right
because
now. This is right now.
everything falling apart.
Yeah,
Everything.
this is right now. This is right now. Mhm.
So now what happens is I'm gonna do your countdown, and then after your
Okay.
countdown, you'll be on the stage by yourself. I tell everybody, don't
Okay.
freak out. You're gonna be up there by yourself. I'm not gonna be up there with
Okay.
you. This is your moment to tell everybody how to follow your journey, how to what's coming up in 2025. Anything you wanna
Okay.
advertise. This is
Got
your
you.
moment. Okay.
Got you.
All right.
Rise up now. Are you in when they turn around? Flashlights on us and scream it out. When the second car pull up behind us and they wrestle us down to the ground. When they pull out, they guns on us cause we asking them, what's this about? When the mic's on and the camera's rolling, everybody watching and standing around. Are you down to give a testimony when they take you down and put you under oath? Put your right hand down on the Bible and swear to God on the microphone. Are you riding with us down to the jail? So close to hell, we lose a hope.
Hey y'all, this is your girl Miss Storm, and you can find me on all social media platforms at the number one MISSSTORM, one Miss Storm on everything. And I can't wait to build with you, grow with you, and for you to hear my new music. Right now, I'm working on a new Southern Soul project, and I love Southern Soul. I hope you guys get to enjoy it with me. And I'm going to be releasing a new single in February, and I can't wait for you guys to hear it. Peace and love.
Get off mute. Awesome. I thought you was gonna go in on them. So I was like,
Look,
oh, she getting
I didn't know what else to say. I'm like, I'm probably talking too. I'm long-winded, girl. I'm like, let me cut this thing.
yeah, I thought she was gonna go in and she done cut it short on me. But thank you. Thank you so much for accepting my invitation to win it. If there's anything that you want me to do on my end to advertise on my end to push
Okay.
your album that you have coming out, let me
Yes,
know.
I'll be in New Orleans this weekend because the song we have to redo it because the master didn't come out right. So I'm in New Orleans recording this weekend, and then once I get it, the new one, I'll send it to you if you wanted to add it. I don't know when you're going to release this.
Yeah, send it to me. Absolutely,
Okay.
send it to me. But
Okay,
thank
but
you.
I like what you did though with the pictures and everything looks so good. I love it.
Thank you.
Yeah,
We wanted to win it. So
very professional.
listen. And thank you to everybody else that's tuning into this amazing episode. Man, let me tell you something. Y'all got to listen to some of my music. I was just sitting here binging today on some of her music, and I'm like, wow. Yeah, so I'm probably going to be listening to some more. So thank you so much for joining us today on Breaking the Silence. Remember, the courage to share your truth is the first step towards healing. And every story we tell brings us closer to understanding, growth, and change. So if this episode today resonated with you in some type of way, share it with someone that needs it. And let's keep breaking the silence together. So until next time, stay strong, stay inspired, and always speak your truth. Later.
Rise up now. Are you in when they turn around? Flashlights on us and scream it out. When the second car pull up behind us and they wrestle us down to the ground. When they pull out, they guns on us cause we asking them, what's this about? When the mic's on and the camera's rolling, everybody watching and standing around. Are you down to give a testimony when they take you down and put you under oath? Put your right hand down on the Bible and swear to God on the microphone. Are you riding with us down to the jail? So close to hell, we lose a hope. Are you in for this melanin to the very end? I need to know. Are you in when they cuff us up, put us in the back of that squad truck? We might see a cell or die by ourselves. Suicide's the lies that they tell on us. Kick in our dough, lay us on the floor, lay it off and blow when they scared of us. I need to know when it's time for woe. If you friend or foe, my skin's dangerous. Are you running with us to the finish line united? We stand the one left behind. We've been begging them 400 years to stop killing us for our equal rights. Been lost our minds, losing our kids, eyes full of tears. I can't sleep at night. We done meditated, we done prayed and waited, self-medicated. This can't be like. It's united, we stand, but divided we fall. We as big as our dreams, but they want us to feel like we small. They be killing us off, shooting us down like we dogs. They be burning our churches down when we be praying to God. No, we gotta rise up now, niggas. Cause we some proud niggas. We fall down and get back up, then adjust our crown. We gotta rise up now, niggas. Remember we wasn't allowed, Our time is now, We gotta rise up now, niggas. Hood made, switching lanes in this big body, wood grain and chrome. Can't celebrate my accolades. You ride me for these 24s. Got it out the mud, built this alone. It'll be your own, that'll do you wrong. Ain't nothing gangsta about jugging you, that's whole shit. We kin folks. They profile me, think I'm selling dope. Every night I pray I make it home. I ain't flexing when I put on Smith & Wesson with no safety on. It don't make it right, it don't make it wrong. It's that Willie Lynch that make us hate our own. I pray to God for this generation, these revelations, all faces gone. Take your place back on the throne, stand up and fight, put down the phones, unlearn the hate, it's been too long. Are you in cause the race is on? We the chosen ones, when we come together ain't no stopping us. Are you in cause the race is on? It's united we stand, but divided we fall. We as big as our dreams, but they want us to feel like we small. They be killing us off, shooting us down like we dogs. They be burning our churches down when we be praying to God. No, we gotta rise up now. Rise up now, niggas. Cause we some proud niggas. We fall down and get back up, then adjust our crown. We gotta rise up now. Rise up now, niggas. Remember we wasn't allowed, Our time is now, We gotta rise up now, niggas.